He owned this whole square mile. He licensed the women of the borough who worked in the brothels to ply their prostitute trade. But when they died, if they hadn't made their peace between themselves and the church, they were denied a Christian burial. In those days, they weren't the only people who were denied a Christian burial. A child that was born and died without being baptized. It is said, local history tells us, that the single women's burial ground where those Winchester geese were thrown away is the same place as where, over the 200 years that we know it was in use, being used by the local parish church, St Saviour and St Mary Overy, which is now called Southwark Cathedral. We've got no record of this place ever being blessed. As far as we know, it's an unconsecrated graveyard, even though the church buried their own for 200 years. They might have been breaking the law, who knows? Who knows? All of these people, the Winchester geese, thrown away, people who are buried, who are not buried here in graves set out one and one and one and one. There have been so many people buried that they have been crammed in and their bones are mixed up together, where their bodies were pushed out of the way to cram another body in. Underneath this ground is a mass of human bones. If you saw it at the end of a war, you'd think that the victors had thrown away the enemy's bodies. That's what this grave looks like. The enemy. Whose enemy were they? They were just the people who lived in the area, the lowest of the low, the outcasts. We honour the outcasts. We don't have to love necessarily the outcasts, but we do honour them as being equal to us, the same as us. The dead and the living, the same. We're all in it together. That's what we come here for. To all for one moment in a world that tries to separate us in so many ways, break us individually in so many different ways. We come here just for a little tiny while and we just turn our attention away. We just turn our focus into here, where we're all in it together. She says, all my children gathered there, the deformed and the deviant, embraced into her unity. This is what we come. So, we perform 4 or 5 very simple acts in our vigil that we do. And the first one is we start where everything starts, in the silence. In the beginning wasn't the word. In the beginning was the silence. So for 1 minute, we hold silence and hold this light, this open pathways candle, so that all the beings in all the worlds may be free and at liberty to pursue their most intimate aspiration. Let the light guide them to where we need to go. We hold this light. We hold the same light within ourselves. We use this light to focus on so that we can consider our life, whatever we consider our light to be. The light of life, the light of consciousness, the light of love, the flames of passion, wherever and whatever our light is. Us and it, both together. Everything else is silence. Everything else is just shining emptiness. Mervyn, Would you do me the honour of holding the open pathways candle so everyone can see it? I will ring the bells once, and in a minute I will ring the bells again to see. Put them over. Thank you very kindly. If anybody would like to sit down, if you're feeling a bit weak at the knees, please use the shrine area as a seat. Mervyn will show you how.
I'm just lazy. This is a diary of a black man, 59 years and 11 months.
So the next piece of the vigil that we do is the act of binding and loosing. We hang ourselves on the gates. Sometimes literally. Now, when we started many years before the vigil started. The first thing that happened here that John started, John of course, who channeled the goose's words down to us, and then we amplify them out as much as we're able, was the Halloween of Crossbones. It happened once a year, and 123 people were invited, and there was a ritual reenactment of the mystery books. And each person that attended was given a ribbon wider than this. You'll see some of them on the gates here, for example. And each ribbon had the name of a person that, as far as we know from the research that John made, that person is buried here. So this person, for example, whose name I can't see currently, but died in 1849. So each incarnate soul carried a disincarnate soul with them, attended the ritual, and then we processed back down here and hung their names on the gates to free them back again, to free them from us and to allow them be in liberty. And that's where the idea of hanging the ribbons on the gates came. So we always hang ribbons on the gates, but very often people haven't brought their ribbon. Zoom people obviously will have each brought their ribbon. But what we started doing, we started bringing ribbons so that if you didn't bring your own gift, of course you're allowed and welcome to bring your own gift. There you go, that's yours. You can do that for me. You can do that for me. Share them out.
Scraping people up off the floor.
You can do that for me. Share them out, please.
It was a consequence of attending.
Okay. So please, if you come again, feel free to bring your own gift to hang on the gates. But we do this as our gift to you. So we make you a gift so you can make your own gift back again. It's how mostly we count how many people are here, because we do bundles of 20. 23 is a big number here. So we hang our ribbons on the gates. We offer gifts to the gates. This can be anything you like. This can be a wish for somebody. It could be a prayer. It could simply be a representation of your own self because you want to stay here. Once it's tied on and you free yourself of it, you've emptied yourself a little bit. One of the things we do when we're here is we empty ourselves of stuff. We empty ourselves of acquisition because we give away. We empty ourselves of, there you go, blank mind again. Fill in the blank. You empty yourself of whatever. You're emptying yourself of, working on the theory that a full up jug can't carry any more. So we empty ourselves to be open to receive. We hang our ribbons on the gates to the tune of the offering poem, which we repeat 5 times, and it's like an echo. We call it the echo prayer. It's not really a prayer, it's a description of what we do. So we repeat it 5 times. If you don't know it, most people will know it here. If you don't know it, listen out for the words that are being said. If there are any words you want to say those words. It'll come round 5 times, so you might say a few more words as we're going. So I'll repeat it first and then step away for everybody to do what you need to do. Here, lay your hearts.
Here lay your hearts,
Flowers.
your
Your
flowers,
flower, your book
of
of hours,
your
your
fingers,
fingers, your
thumbs,
thumbs, your miss you mums. Here hang your
Here hang your
hopes,
hopes,
your
your
dreams,
dreams,
your
your
might
mighty
have
beans,
beens,
Your might have been.
your locks,
your
your
locks, your
keys,
keys,
your
your
mysteries.
mysteries.
Here lay your
Here lay your
hearts,
hearts,
your
your
flowers,
flowers,
your book of
your book of
hours,
hours,
your
your
fingers,
fingers,
your
your
thumbs,
thumbs,
your miss
your
you
miss you
mums.
mums.
Here hang
Here
your
hang your
hopes,
hopes,
your
your
dreams,
dreams,
your might
your
have
might
beens,
have beens,
your
Your
locks,
locks,
your
your
keys,
keys,
your
your
mysteries.
mysteries.
Here lay your
Here lay your
hearts,
hearts,
your
your
flowers,
your flowers,
your
your
book
book
of
of
your book
hours,
hours,
of hours,
your
your
fingers,
fingers,
your
your
thumbs,
thumbs,
your miss
your
you
your
miss
miss
you
you
mums.
mums.
Here hang
Here
your
hang your
hopes,
hopes,
your
your
dreams,
dreams,
your might
your
have
your might have
beens,
beens,
your
your
locks,
your
locks,
locks,
your
your
keys,
keys,
your
your
mysteries.
mysteries.
Here lay your
Here lay your
hearts,
hearts,
your
Your
flowers,
flowers,
book of
your
hours,
flowers, your book
your
of hours,
fingers, your
your
thumbs,
fingers, your
your
thumbs,
miss
your
you
miss you
mums.
your miss
mums.
you
Here
mums.
hang your
Here hang your
hopes, your
hopes, your
dreams,
dreams,
your
your
might
might
have
have
beens,
Beans,
your locks,
your
locks,
your
locks, your
keys,
keys,
your
your
mysteries.
mysteries.
Here lay
Here
your
lay your
hearts,
hearts,
your
your
flowers,
flowers,
your book
your
of
Your
book of
book of
hours,
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 your
your
fingers,
fingers,
your
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 thumbs,
thumbs,
your miss
your
you
your
miss
miss
you
you
mums.
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 Here
Here
hang
hang
your
your
hopes,
hopes,
your
your
dreams,
Your
dreams,
dreams,
your might
your
have
might have
beens,
beens,
your locks,
your
your
locks,
locks,
your
your
keys,
keys,
your
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 mysteries.
mysteries.
your flowers, your book of hours,
Your thumbs, miss your mum. Here hang your hopes.
Here hang your hopes,
dreams,
your dreams, your might have beens, your locks, your mysteries.
That's it. I need more whiskey. What?
I'm smiling. What do you want? What?
What do I want? That's a loaded question.
All right, well, we'll discuss it later. What we're doing now this section of the vigil is called the sacred offering. It's been a bit of an adventure these last few months, because not only does the Zoom vigil join us, but the Zoom vigil attendees also, if they would like, give us their offerings via Natalie's phone. If that happens, and Jackie will tell us whether or not anybody wants to volunteer to offer anything, I suggest you all cram in proper close, because it can be quite difficult to hear. For the people that are in the physical, who wants to offer something? I take it you want to say something, Dave 500. Ladies and gentlemen, Dave 500 will tell you why he's called Dave 500 when he comes up. Mervyn, for our sins, is going to offer something. 10, have you got something for us? Not this month. Does anybody else want to offer? Yes, I can't remember your name. I'm sorry. Vanessa. Sorry. Vanessa's going to as
Drew.
well.
And Drew.
Coming through from the Zoom video is going to say something. Especially since John retired, in order to get goose words and goose feelings flowing through us, we always open and we close with goose words. So there's quite a few new people here tonight who have never met the goose. So I'm going to do one of the older poems that maybe don't get offered very much, so that you just get a little taste of who or what she might be. Yes, I've been here before, dear. Oft times in chastened circumstance, I lay with Master Geoffrey at the tabard, making dalliance afore wending on his pilgrimage to tell a tale of Canterbury, and I rode out beside him as the child of Mary Overy went riding for a vision of humanity, man, God and beast communing for one moment in eternity. And the questioning divinity who asks herself, what am I to permit such wanton misery? And compassion for all souls who dwell in very shadows of mortality, compelling her to take on very flesh of that infirmity until she's born a crafty whore, stewed in a Southwark hostelry, and packing all her wherewithal to take a pilgrim's fancy, and lay with him, and play with him, and open eyes to see the goddess. But on Judgment Day she'll stand by man and make his plea. And I was in that miller's wife who pushed her to Absalom, who kissed in many a wench's lips, but nary such a hairy one, who don't know me yet. You will, dear, I promise you. I am a tricksy tart, dear. My aim is to astonish you. Oh. We're not in church. If anybody offers, please feel free to applaud, cheer, whoop, throw money, howl like 10 does. Now, shall we have Day 500 next? Welcome, Day 500.
Whoop, whoop. It's the sound of the geese.
Right, yes, Day 500. How did I get that name? Right, or that number? I watched a program on TV called History Cold Case, and Hello Doug. And it was about the skeletons that were taken out to build the substation over the back. And it led me here eventually. And there was a petition to save the graveyard. So I decided to put my name down. I went back to the website, the petition website, and when I looked at the number, curiously, it was number 500. So that's how I got the number. Right. So, and a year later, after that, my son passed away, and that's his picture up there. So, this little document here has been written by Lucy Coleman Talbot. She is now Dr. Lucy Coleman Talbot. She's got her PhD. And I was one of the interviewees. Anyway, I'm going to read something from this little document. It's called We Are Here. And it's called King of the Beggars. Okay. Andrew Whiston of William Courts, Great Guildford Street, was buried here on the 7th of April, 1826. Andrew was known locally as Little Andrew or Little Jemmy. He was a paraplegic man with dwarfism. He wore a distinctive hat and was said to be a real character who could be incredibly difficult, particularly when in drink. He travelled each day across Blackfriars Bridge to gather alms and held the title King of the Beggars, the name he was reportedly proud of. Andrew was an alcoholic and died in consequence of suffocation from excessive drinking. Life must have been very hard for him. Andrew was only 16 inches tall. He used a small cart and crutches to move about. This cost him money, which would have been a great expense for him. Although his death was reported to the night constable for St Saviour's at around 11 o'clock, the residents of Williams Court refused to give up his body, claiming that it was due to Andrew dying in debt of his month's rent. However, it soon came to light that they had been offered the sum of £100 for his dead body for the purpose of dissection, in consequence of its extraordinary formation. After much difficulty, the night constable did manage to retrieve Andrew's corpse from the house on the grounds that no relatives were present. Today, you will find a coffin bearing Andrew's name and a replica of his cart. In life, Andrew had nothing. In death, he was objectified and seen as a hot commodity. This alarming disparity represents the ableist treatment that many disabled people will experience today. Following the inquest, Andrew was conveyed to St Saviour's burial ground and interred in a grave dug 14 foot in depth from the surface, over which there were 3 other coffins, in order to secure it against the resurrection men, who were anxious to have the corpse to dispose of. There were 3 other parish funerals recorded for that day, so the location of these burials is not specified, and it can be inferred by the number that they were 2 buried at Crossbones for this reason. And those 3 people that were buried on top of him are James Harvey, age 54, of Red Cross Street, Elizabeth Marks, age 54, of Union Street, William Walters, age 58, of the Workhouse. And that I conclude. Thank you very much. Hope that was interesting.
Lucy ran an exhibition called We Are Here, with several. If you go into Crossbones, you'll see several wooden coffins. There's one that has been placed. They're now being used as bee hotels with the twigs and so on. It was very interesting. If ever there are exhibitions there, it'd be worth coming to. Shall we have Druid next and see what happens? Are you there with us, Drew?
Am I audible?
Okay, you do what you've got to do.
Am I audible? Just want to make sure I can be heard.
Gather round, gather round, gather round, gather round.
Super. Yes. Get
Someone
people
needs to
close in.
press on, please.
It's been a year since at least one of the occasions where I contributed the rap "Goose on the Loose." So I thought I'd do it again this time.
Great.
Yonk, yonk, goose on the loose. Young, young, goose on the loose. Young, young, goose on the loose. I'm a goose on the loose. Get ready for abuse. Get ready for abuse from a goose on the loose. I'm a goose on the loose. Get ready for abuse from a 2-foot waddling douche nozzle goose. I'm a goose on the loose. Get ready for abuse. Get ready for abuse from a goose on the loose. Reduce you to tears and then poop of a moose. Reappear here with my feet, cut your caboose. Tell I'm touching your gooch. What you gonna do? No sleuth can deduce the truth. There isn't proof. Ask whole new sense in a whole new sense. Come on, I'm just helping you relax. You're too tense and cataclysmic. It's kind of characteristic of my habit for mischief, standing in your cabbages and having a quick shit. I'm a little bit savage when I'm nabbing your jam sandwiches and wrecking your picnic. No one saw me, definitely didn't threaten to witness. Nevertheless, I suggest you mind your own business. From gardener to grocer to butcher to baker, you could all suck my cloaca. I'm a goose on the loose. Get ready for abuse. Get ready for abuse from a goose on the loose. I'm a goose on the loose. Get ready for abuse from a 2-foot waddling goose nozzle, douche nozzle goose. When I cause a commotion, I show no emotion. Throw your clothes in the water, they're soaking. So what? I'm doing your laundry. Throw the soap in. I wonder how good a radio is it floating. Oopsie, was that yours? Oh well, broken. Oh, the grocer's is open. I'm going in, and I won't be coming back out till the closing. I pick and mix my mischief in the moment. It's as if they mixed a Pixar movie with The Omen, a pitch black heart even darker than Mr. Morden, roll up and smoking hashish with Graham Norton. Going road quacking unintelligible slogans, honk, honk, newt, newt, what a cutie. Come on, shake your tail feather, waddle that booty. If you want to get down, you got to catch me. Bugger, factory farming, don't tag me. Goose on the loose, get ready for abuse. Get ready for abuse from a goose on the loose. I'm a goose on the loose. Get ready for abuse from a 2-foot waddling douche nozzle goose. Yonk, 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 yonk. Yonk, 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 yonk. Yonk, 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 yonk. Goose on the loose. Goose on the loose. Goose on the loose. This is targeted harassment. Blah, blah, blah. Might I inquire, did you ask if you could try my foie gras? Aha, thought not. Better leave your door locked, because I'm a big bird and you're a small cock. Or what's the matter? Did I put a little sore spot? Next time I'm going to rip your mother plucking balls off. I make your jaw drop with all the stuff I pill for fuck swans, hashtag no filter. I'm just telling the truth, diligently pillaging the villagers of any shred of dignity. My goodness, what a silly goose. Big up to Vinnie Noose and Russell of Rocket. If all the stuff in your pocket's of any use, then I've already got it. I'm not stopping, always shopping for new ways to ruin days. I'm a plumate Saddam Hussein. I'll hide your boots or untie your shoelace and I'll take you on another wild goose chase. I'm a goose on the loose. Get ready for abuse. Get ready for abuse from a goose on the loose. I'm a goose on the loose. Get ready for abuse from a 2-foot waddling douche nozzle goose. Might as well have your fun. Might as well have fun because your happiness is done when your goose is cooked, making you jump when the goose bumps. I'm leaving you shook. Leaving you shook. I'm leaving you shook. I'm leaving you shook. Honk, honk, I'm goose.
Yay!
Well, that went down very well. Thank you, Drew. Excellent. We heard a lot better than we have in the past. We must be doing something right.
Well, no, I'm in charge of all the time and the weather.
I thought that was me.
No.
But we don't
I'm
do
in
the
charge.
patriarchy here.
Well,
It's
no,
your
it's
turn
not
to
about
come and talk.
patriarchy. It's
It's
about
your turn to
murderarchy.
come and talk, Mo.
No,
Do you want to talk?
ladies first.
Veronica.
Vanessa.
Sorry, Vanessa. I got the first letter right.
You just wanted to do a V defender.
I had something to hand out, but I would mention while I'm here, while you have a goose, at my church in Morden Spiritualist Church, we have a swan. And if you come to the open circle on a Monday and sit and meditate for, it's about 2 hours, we sit and meditate. A lot of people, you only see it once, I think. You see a goose, a swan, one single swan, and it glides down the river in front of you. And you think, well, I can't give that message off to anyone. But it's something to do with, like the goose here. We have a swan that makes itself known by appearing to you in meditation on a Monday. And if people say they've seen it, we get them to join the committee because we take it as a sign, like with John Crow, we take it as a sign. We put them on the committee. And I wanted to hand out these. I came across them earlier. Fiesta Latina Procession. It's in 2 weeks, got lots of leaflets to hand out. It's in 2 weeks' time, Saturday, 10th of June at 11 a.m. It's going to be Day of the Dead procession from the Elephant Castle. We're going to walk over to Crossbones. It's part of the Bankside Open Trust Festival. So I'll hand those out. And it's free of charge if you can be at the, is it the Elephant Square? Yeah, the Elephant Square. They're going to walk from the Elephant to Crossbones. Then they're going to have, I will hand these out, you can see what they do. They're going to do traditional Latin performances and music to do with the Day of the Dead, which they celebrate usually on the 1st and 2nd of November. But I think they're doing it because the weather's a lot nicer in June. I'll hand these out.
Could you do that handing out afterwards?
Oh,
please?
sure. Yes, of course.
If you've got anything creative you want to offer,
Yeah.
now's
Yeah.
the time.
Oh, right. Okay.
Drop the speech bit first because I
Have you got anything else to
No,
offer?
that's it.
Okay. Thanks, Vanessa. Do you want to go up now?
Come out the road, let the cars live. Remember,
If you come this side of
these
the
are
lines
people
of
that
death.
don't understand how public transport works.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye. Have a nice day.
Let me clear my throat. I'm gonna need to take some legal advice. What can and can I not say?
This is the liberty. How offensive do you feel? How much do you want to upset people? I really don't know.
Well, it depends on which people I wish to upset. I don't wish to upset anyone here, but some of the things I say are quite upsetting because you don't know it, but I've been hacking your lives for decades. Yesterday was a special anniversary because this is the diary of a black man, 11 months into 59. So in a month's time, it's my 60th birthday. In 1978, I worked on the NatWest Tower. I drew some of the plans for the tallest building in London. That's why I can say everyone's seen something that I did. It's across the river there. You can look at it. I also worked on the Millennium Dome and I did the box of Parcel Pigs and I used to work on My Little Pony, but that's irrelevant to everything else that I've done. I've also written a few of this country's greatest functions, but you weren't listening to my music because you were like pop music, didn't you? You were like nice things.
Now
You
you're
don't
getting
like people
offensive.
telling you, he
Now
told
I'm
me,
offended.
he saw me play live. This man here knows. He knows some of my darkest secrets. And as you can see, I'm very dark. You can just see that at skin level, I see. Anyway, would you like to hear a song, or can I tell you a story about this?
Both.
So 5 years ago, I met this really pretty young black woman twice for 10 minutes, for about as long as you're going to pay attention to me now. Her name was Khadisha Say. She died on the 10th floor of Grenfell Tower, having left her mother on the 14th floor of Grenfell Tower, having climbed down from the 22nd floor of Grenfell Tower. So this kind of hurt me and burnt me, and I championed the flame for that. So I rewrote a song I wrote years ago underneath the governments of a woman called Margaret Thatcher, which I believe some of you still actually like. Actually, sorry, strike that, reverse it. None of you still actually like. So anyway, I wrote this song called Close to the Edge, and I rewrote it and rejigged it to pay attention to Grenfell. So under legal advice, can I perform that now?
The floor is open to you. Sacred offerings. This is what we owe.
The gloves are off. Just let your hair down for a while. Spark up a spliff and crack a smile. Stick a can of whiskey in your hand. Check with this riff now and overstand. This is me coming straight off the plate, shouting out this lyric like a bull out the gate. Lyrical style and all that don't main thing. So listen while we chat and I'm making you think. Send me come every day just for chat of yourself. And the isms and schisms of the government failed to keep us all down in poverty. While I run off with the money. See, I'm running close to the edge. I'm running close to the edge. I'm running close to the edge. Running close to the edge of life. Now, this is the verse I have to explain. Because you've got a bit of cash, haven't you? Because I could tell you've got no shoes on. This isn't about you, right? This is about the billionaires. Because one of the things that really pisses me off, do you know there's 177 billionaires living in this country right now, and we only have 37 air ambulances? I think if you're a billionaire, you should fund an air ambulance, don't you? See those with loads of money just to like fuck all with a transferred conscience. Then have a ball. Recession come along to watch the fuckers them fall. So come a time when the poor stand tall. See, I'm running close to the edge. I'm running close to the edge. I'm running close to the edge. I'm running close to the edge of life. Even the bellends have joined in. Nah, it's a Grenfell. "71 months since Grenfell had burned. Here and now done, but what did we learn from the dodgy investments the Tories did earn? From the dodgy investments the Tories did earn. For some dodgy investments some Tories did earn. Making a profit while 72 burned. Like the nepotism of the PPEs, because every trade in society, well, they were almost blind bit by bit, selling off with things like the NHS and all the old buildings of the post office. So just let your head down for a while. Spark up a spliff and crack a smile. Stick a can of whiskey in your hand and know how the Tories have destroyed this land. So if you're not doing anything next month, on the 22nd of June, come to the 100 Years Gallery. I shall be having a bit of a birthday party. I'm building a whiskey throne. Out of all the whiskey that's been through this hip flask for the past 3 years, it's over 50 litres. So,
Lord of time.
you see that? Mind control.
Lord of motion. Does anybody else want to offer a sacred offering? In that case, what we're going to do is close. Those words like we always do. I described how the goose, she described herself in the last poem. She's much, much more than just a medieval prostitute. She says, I am the wind. I rake the wild grasses. I am the reaper, the sower, the seed. I am the day of the bonny lads and lassies. I am the night with the secret paths lead. I am the scents field. I flower in your fingers. I am the musk in the dusk of the day. I am the ghost of a smile that lingers where the face where it flickered has faded away. I am the white noise of a nervous system. I am the silence in which it reroutes. I am the gods and the men who resist them, the madness in the eyes of the men in suits. I am in George. I must conquer my dragon. I am in Martha. I nurse the red gash. I am Hag Caridwen with her raw red rag on. I am Kali, razor in the flash and slash. I am the light in the shadow revealing. I am the grace that transfigures the sin. I am the wound that prefigures the healing. I am the light of the traveller's inn. I'll be your icon, your muse, your conceit. I'll be whatever you would have me be. I'll be Mary Magdalene washing your feet if it helps you see through what divides you from me. Remember, remind everybody, you lot are all right because you lot are indoors. Let me remind everybody, when we come out here and it is still only May and it's only the very beginning of summer, wear enough clothes so you're not bloody freezing. And that way you'll enjoy yourself even more.
That note to yourself.
It's note to self, yeah. Because you see me shivering.
Actually, being the person who's actually in charge of the weather, what's wrong with it? It's cool. Look, do you see any nipples on it?
What did you say to me? Oh, I said,
No,
you've got
that
a
wasn't the
nipple.
question. The question is,
I don't
do
want
you
to
think?
see- Yes, I can see your nipples. Sit down. Stop being the outcast. Hey,
She's called me out.
lovely
She's
if
called
you'd
me
go on the pavement. Thank you. So kind.
We have to have a sign put up.
No yuppies.
We have to put a sign up saying.
No
Laws don't need to be followed.
No, we just to put a sign
The
up.
rules
No
don't need to
fucking
be
yuppies.
followed here. Nobody else has got anything to offer on the sacred offerings. We are closing. We're entering the last ritual in our vigil tonight. This is when we offer the blessings. We have two blessings, the blessings of the Cobblepus and the blessing of the goose. Somebody will be asked, maybe Andy, to seal us in. We reclaim so much here. We reclaim the goose's mystery, reclaim the goose's secret
Step
history.
in.
We
Closer.
reclaim St. George.
Closer.
We reclaim silence.
This is a
We
good thing.
reclaim love. We reclaim gin. Gin was used by the very poor people as the knockout to stop the pain. We take that thing that you could buy for a penny a pint and go blind in a fortnight, and we turn that into our sacrament.
You got to remember because we
We
write it about
seal
this shit as well.
ourselves in, the living and the dead all together. We stand at the gates so that we are touching the gates. We get as close to the gates as possible, ladies and gentlemen. If you can't touch the gates, touch somebody who's touching the gates. And again, we're a call and return. I say you repeat back. Life,
Life, health,
Happiness.
happiness,
open
open pathways,
Pathways,
health,
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 life,
happiness,
life,
happiness, open
Happiness.
pathways,
open pathways,
health in the body,
health in the body,
health
peace in the spirit,
peace in the spirit,
love in the heart.
love in the heart.
It is this that we wish.
It is this that we wish.
Love in the heart.
It is this that we wish
It is this that we wish
for ourselves,
For
For
ourselves,
ourselves,
and families,
for
for our
our
friends and families,
siblings,
for
for all
all,
our siblings,
crow,
for
the
the goose,
goose and the crow,
humanity.
and for
and
all
all
humanity.
humanity.
It is this that we wish.
It
It
is
is
this
this
that we wish.
Selves,
For ourselves,
Self,
for
families,
our friends and family,
all our siblings,
for all our
for our
siblings,
our
siblings,
siblings,
for the goose and the crow,
for the
the
goose
goose
and
and
the
the
crow,
and for all humanity.
and for
and for
all
all humanity.
humanity.
May it be so.
May it be so.
Goose, may you never be hungry,
Goose,
may you never be hungry.
never be thirsty.
Goose, may you never
Goose,
be
may you never be
thirsty.
thirsty.
Goose, may your spirit fly free.
Goose, may your spirit fly free.
So she does, everybody.
And so
And
she
so
does.
she
So
does.
she does.
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining our vigil.
My parents weren't married at my birth, so when they used to call me a black bastard a long time ago.
We haven't quite finished the vigil yet. We haven't quite finished yet. We've got a couple of notices. Please take note of Vanessa, who is going to be handing out her things. And please, if anybody wants to offer something to support the vigil, the expenses, the gin, the candles, the ribbons, the flowers, so on and so forth. This here pirate's hat is an example with day 500 of what happened.
I'm the leader.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you and good night. Thanks, Tan, very much.
Thank you.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. Here is an advert for some short tours that I will be doing. They start on Thursday, each Thursday for a month. The first two go from 12 to 1 o'clock. The second two in towards the end of June are between 5 and 6. If you take a photograph of the QR code You'll get all the information that you need. It is free, but you will have to book up. Over here now, on the 23rd of July is a very busy day for us. Because during the day we hold the blessings and the bards, when the Dean of Southwark Cathedral comes to Crossbones with his clergy and their congregation, and he offers an act of regret, remembrance,
And restoration.
and restoration. Not only does he apologise for the behaviour of the church towards the Winchester geese, he also, it being Southwark Cathedral and then practising Old South Bank religion, he offers that they will be doing very much better in the future. So that would be lovely to see, wouldn't it? Another cure. After the blessings come the bards. So round about 1 or 1:30, when the Dean has finished, he then passes over to the bards, which is singers, poets, led by George of Bermondsey, who will be there until 4 o'clock with our offerings of singing and music and song. Even if you don't take a photograph of this QR code, please have a look at it, because Natalie is a bloody genius. In the middle of this QR code is a skull and crossbones. Let's hear it for Natalie. I really have finished now. Thank you very much.
Just to add, I'm not one of the bards. I'm already banned.
Did they ban you as well?
Look, I banned me just because.
Everyone for being here. It was lovely. Thank you, Facebook people, for being here. I'm going to stop live streaming on Facebook now, but thank you for being here. Bye bye. There's that one. There we go. Is everyone all right? Does anybody want to say anything before we end? Fabulous. Well, thank you to everyone at the gates, because we're still recording. Thank you, the gates. Thank you, everyone, for being here. And I am now going to stop recording. Let's stop that.